Ciao, it's Lily. I have a million hobbies. I've talked about them here. But one of the interests I do have that really makes people go, what? For some reason is that I am a massive fan of theme parks.
Do you feel the grizzly coming inside you?
Yes, I am a coaster enthusiast, but I love all aspects of theme parks outside of roller coasters, like dark rides, flat rides, shows, foods, etc., etc. And one thing that seems to stick out to me in this hobby as opposed to any of my other hobbies is that the theme park community, and especially the roller coaster fan community, is completely out of touch with what's going on in the industry. Speculation amongst fans about changes to a specific park, or new rides, or what a specific ride manufacturer is up to is almost always completely wrong. In fact, it's wrong so often that when the world's tallest roller coaster, King the Ka, was rumored to be closing forever this year, I didn't believe it at first. And that's because it began as speculation. However, it turns out that the signs were true, and with Ka actually closing, we are back into the cycle of ridiculous speculation. This got me thinking back to other times when enthusiasts' minds were going fucking wild, and I want to let you know what was probably the weirdest one that I can recall. Now, usually with speculations, even if they are rarely right, they're at least something that would be cool and exciting if they actually came to fruition. Like, yeah, it would have been super cool if after the whole What's in the Shed campaign for Mystic Timbers, that inside the shed there was actually a drop track, as opposed to being, you know, nothing. However, what I want to talk about today is probably the dumbest idea I have ever heard for a roller coaster. That brings us to Ingerland, at a park called Alton Towers. Alton Towers is a park with a lot of history that I will not be going into here. The long short of what you need to know is it's the theme park in England. Many countries have different theme parks, but each country has the park that is the theme park or resort, like the one that people specifically travel to go to. The US has Disney World, Germany has Europa Park, China has the Sex theme park that was never actually allowed to open, and England has Alton Towers. And if you're having trouble deciding which of these parks to take your family on a vacation to, let me just say that while Disney has industry-defining immersion and experiences with some of the most iconic rides ever made, only Alton Towers has Gangsta Granny the ride, so swings and roundabouts, you know. We'll indulge in that another day. Today, I actually want to go to the area right next door, to X Sector, Alton Towers' dystopian sci-fi horror area thing. Here we find the Smiler. The Smiler is a Gerstlauer infinity coaster. It is also the coaster with the world record for the most inversions at 14. The first of those inversions is actually indoors, in the dark. When the train leaves the station, there is an immediate inversion during the indoor section before you reach the first lift hill. Also, according to Alton Towers' own website, it apparently has a track 3 times longer than Oblivion's, so, you know, just throwing some shade at your own other attraction. Like, come on guys, I think we're all in this together. Now, Alton Towers' marketing and advertising campaigns have always been different. However, they have kept a pretty interesting campaign running for quite a long time, that being the Secret Weapon program. The secret weapons at Alton Towers have been code names given to new coasters under construction, and many of them being world's first coasters, or simply having a world's first element. Secret weapon number 4 was Oblivion, the world's first dive coaster. Secret weapon number 5 was the first B&M flyer. Mind you, it was not the first flying coaster, but just the first one built by B&M. And secret weapon number 6 is honestly, to me, the most interesting.
If you go down to the woods today, you'd better not go alone.
Now, the fact that as a marketing stunt, Alton Tower said that it would be the scariest roller coaster ever created, and would require guests to sign a waiver to ride, and would have had an age limit of between 16 and 55, many people were expecting something more extreme. But when secret weapon number 6 was revealed as 13, some enthusiasts were honestly disappointed to see that Alton Tower's newest secret weapon was a family coaster. Honestly, I love family coasters and think they're important to the hobby because they can make great transitional coasters for newer enthusiasts who still feel intimidated by the more extreme coasters. But you can see why some people felt a little misled. However, 13 probably had the most interesting trick up its sleeve. Alton Towers took care to keep what was inside the indoor section of the coaster a secret. When riders finally got to ride 13, they experienced the world's first drop track. A drop track is exactly what it says it is. It is a section of the track that the train locks into and then drops into a free fall similar to a drop tower. And that brings us to secret weapon number 7, the Smiler. Marketing around the Smiler was similar to other secret weapons, doing weird viral marketing stunts like a horror miniseries.
Okay, so we just got back from seeing Mel Cedars, and we're about to have a look at some of the tapes that we took from his house.
Sanctuary test, subject number 1.
Projecting the Smiler logo on the Big Ben and spray painting the logo on the Jeep. And parts of the project were kept secret during construction, including the indoor section before the lift hill, right after leaving the station. And the forums began speculating. What could it be? Could it be another drop track? No, the layout that we know of currently wouldn't allow for it. What about a launch section? No, there's a chain lift right outside the station. What if it's a brand new element we've never seen before? Wait a minute. Smile, spiral, inversion, inverting, twisting, spin! Oh my god! Introducing the washing machine. This animation is from the YouTube channel Attraction Source. It shows pretty much what people were expecting to find on opening day at Alton Towers. The basic idea is that the train locks into position inside of the machine and is then spun around however many times. You know, like one of those things that your mom uses to wash your Steel Vengeance shirts. This is honest to God what some people thought Gerstlauer was actually building inside of the Smiler's show building. This looks like a mod someone would make on Planet Coaster as a joke. Now, it seems asinine, but I'm sure the idea of a drop track also sounded fucking ridiculous until someone actually built one. I doubt one of these would ever actually be made, and if it is, I don't ever see one of these ever actually being installed anywhere. Not because making this is impossible, there's honestly more insane roller coaster models out there, but mostly it's something that I don't know if any park would actually want to deal with. But Lily, why wouldn't the circus showman ever want us to take a spinning ride on the Upside Down? I hear you scream. Well look, while this looks fun, interesting is the word I'm more comfortable using to describe this. And while it is that, this honest and truly looks like a fucking operational nightmare. I mean, just fucking look at this thing. I'm not saying that this wouldn't be feasible to build. What I am saying is that the downtime on this thing would probably be fucking insane. Reliability is a big deal to amusement parks. If a ride breaks down, you now have a ton of people that would be waiting for that ride now dispersed back into the park, which is going to probably inflate wait times elsewhere. You also will likely now have upset guests who were looking forward to that one ride specifically. This is why you see B&M inverts absolutely everywhere. While enthusiasts consider them to be somewhat bland, general guests don't tend to care and they are regularly able to remain up and running. It's one of those situations where you're just adding more parts to break. For what? Drop tracks have reliability issues, but they're always thrilling and give first-time riders a big surprise. People like them enough to make the hassle worth it. Same with tilt tracks. Tilt tracks are meant to be thrilling because they're fucking terrifying. So that's why people like them. Also, tilt tracks create a good spectacle for outdoor coasters. Tell me, does this look fun? I'm genuinely asking. Do you think this would be fun or thrilling? It looks kind of underwhelming to me personally, but maybe that's just me. Also, another thing. Do you count this as an inversion? Yes, you do go upside down, so I guess it is. But would you count multiple go-arounds as multiple inversions? Because apparently some people do. See, as mentioned, the Smiler has 14 inversions, which is the world record for the most inversions on the coaster. And one theory was that this stupid washing machine was a way to keep that record. So the idea is that if a roller coaster is designed with more inversions, then Alton Tower can program this thing to do one extra spin, so that now the Smiler has the most inversions again. Yeah, so if some insane coaster is made with 20 inversions, then you'd suddenly be taking 8 trips around this thing. Because that's what both guests and parks really want. A ride whose service rate and dispatch time gets substantially worse every time a competing coaster comes into fruition. All in all, the washing machine is honestly just like any other piece of Thuzy speculation. Complete and utter nonsense thought up by people who are not industry experts nor engineers. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? I am genuinely curious if I'm in the minority for thinking that this is dumb. Maybe there are counters to all of my reasons that I just never thought about. So let me know what you think, and if you think this would be worth it to ride or even for a park to build this. Anyway, this is an outro. Please subscribe. Okay, bye.